For decades, California has been the symbol of the American dream. But in recent years, that dream seems to be fading. It is no longer just a center of innovation. It has also become the epicenter of a multidimensional crisis that is forcing thousands of its residents to make difficult choices. By 2026, the state faces a low point driven by a combination of a crippling budget deficit, a collapsing property insurance market, and infrastructure that is failing under extreme climate conditions. It is not just small inland towns that are affected. Global economic centers like San Francisco and Los Angeles are now struggling with insolvency and population outflows. This shift is creating a new map of California, a region increasingly seen as being on the edge of long-term structural decline. Walking along Market Street today offers a clear picture of what economists call a death loop. Office vacancy rates in the downtown area reached a critical 37% in early 2026, severely weakening the city's tax base. San Francisco was once built on the hopes of gold seekers in 1849, but now it is losing both major retailers and its middle-class population at the same time. This crisis is not just about empty buildings. Declining tax revenue is forcing major cuts to public services like the Muni transit system. The closure of iconic stores in Union Square is only a symptom of a deeper problem. The city's struggle to balance an extremely high cost of living with a sense of safety and stability for its residents. The fiscal pressure seen in San Francisco is only part of a larger pattern, as similar issues, on a much bigger scale, are now hitting Southern California. Los Angeles is facing a severe financial strain, with a projected budget deficit exceeding $1.2 billion this year. Much of the city's spending is tied to addressing the growing homelessness crisis and covering rising legal settlement costs. Despite being home to Hollywood, the reality on the ground includes aging infrastructure and delays in emergency response services due to staffing shortages. Los Angeles is caught in a difficult position, trying to maintain its global city status while also dealing with the fundamental challenge of stabilizing its internal finances. Ironically, this financial strain is not limited to large cities like Los Angeles. It is also spreading into coastal areas that were once seen as affluent and stable. In Santa Monica, the financial situation has deteriorated rapidly. According to city leadership, the city is burdened by unfunded pension obligations and large legal settlement costs from past cases, totaling hundreds of millions of dollars. This has forced local authorities to cut community services and aggressively raise parking fees and local taxes, which in turn is pushing small businesses out of areas like the Promenade. Santa Monica has become an example of how past financial decisions can reshape the future of even the most popular coastal destinations. If Santa Monica is struggling with the weight of past obligations, the neighboring city of Orange in Orange County is facing a financial future that looks increasingly uncertain. In a region typically known for stability, the city of Orange is now sending a serious warning signal across California. A recent audit report shows that without a 1% increase in sales tax or major departmental cuts, the city could run out of cash reserves within the next 24 months. This once quiet city, known for its classic architecture, is now overshadowed by political tension over how to close the budget gap without compromising public safety. The situation reflects a broader pattern. Fiscal stress is no longer limited to struggling industrial cities, but is now reaching into well-established suburban communities. For some cities, however, the crisis is no longer a future threat. It is already happening. Vacaville has entered a form of survival mode, implementing a full hiring freeze for all non-essential government positions. The city has also been relying heavily on reserve funds to cover daily operations, a practice that financial experts often describe as unsustainable in the long term. Located between Sacramento and San Francisco, Vacaville is losing its economic competitiveness as operational costs continue to rise while commercial revenues remain stagnant. The city now finds itself walking a fine line, either maintaining basic governmental function or risking deeper financial intervention due to potential insolvency. While Vacaville struggles with financial numbers, coastal communities are facing a crisis driven by forces beyond human control. In Malibu, the issue is not just money, it is the land itself and the air people breathe. After severe wildfires in early 2026, the property insurance market in the area has nearly disappeared, leaving homeowners with extremely high premiums or no coverage at all. Despite its long history as a retreat for the wealthy since the 1920s, Malibu now faces a new reality where its geography has become a liability. Without access to insurance, property values are beginning to decline, creating a liquidity crisis for residents whose wealth is tied to coastal real estate that is now considered high risk. This idea of being pushed out by nature is not unique to Malibu, because inland regions face similar wildfire threats, only with far more fragile economic conditions. In San Bernardino, data shows that about 53% of all buildings are located within high fire risk zones. But that is only part of the problem. Historically, the city has struggled with high poverty levels, and by 2026, inflation has completely stalled its post-pandemic recovery. San Bernardino now faces a dual crisis: limited funding for wildfire mitigation and a population with little financial resilience to absorb rising living costs. It is a city caught between the threat of fire from surrounding hills and internal economic strain within its own local economy. This kind of pressure has led to emergency policies that are now slowing growth in cities like Poway. Known as the city in the country, Poway has been forced to halt nearly all new housing development projects. The decision came after about 80% of the city was classified as an extreme wildfire risk zone, with existing road and water infrastructure considered insufficient for large-scale evacuation. These restrictions are creating economic stagnation. Without new population growth, tax revenues remain flat while infrastructure maintenance costs continue to rise. Poway has become a clear example of how environmental limitations in California are beginning to directly restrict economic expansion. While development stalls in some areas, anxiety continues to spread to coastal regions like Ventura, where residents are now racing against time. In Ventura, wildfire season no longer has a clear beginning or end. Fire has become a year-round threat. The failure to modernize water systems for firefighting in hillside areas has left the city highly vulnerable, as seen in several recent incidents that nearly escalated into major disasters. Historically, Ventura was known as a quiet coastal port, but today residents live with constant concern over evacuation warnings. The city's inability to fund large-scale mitigation projects amid declining local revenue has created a difficult cycle to break. And the threat to Ventura is not only coming from fires in the hills, but also from coastal erosion and rising waves that are slowly reshaping the shoreline. Like Ventura, Del Mar is facing an existential crisis. The coastal cliffs that support the main Pacific Surfliner rail line are steadily eroding due to rising sea levels. The cost to relocate this railway is estimated to reach billions of dollars, while the city itself lacks the resources to protect its oceanfront properties from ongoing erosion. Del Mar's identity as a historic horse racing destination since 1937 is now overshadowed by intense debates over what some call managed retreat. Here, the crisis is about time, how long the land can hold before the ocean begins to take over critical infrastructure. The loss of physical infrastructure in Del Mar mirrors a different kind of breakdown in Oakland, the erosion of social order. The situation has reached a point where public safety is no longer just a concern, but a central factor shaping the city's economic decline. The departure of major businesses from downtown and the port, driven by rising crime rates, has created a significant gap in the city's budget. Oakland has long been known as a vibrant cultural hub, but by 2026, many residents feel abandoned by systems that struggle to provide basic security. In some areas, sharp population decline is transforming entire blocks into spaces that resemble inactive industrial zones. While Oakland struggles with safety, residents in Bakersfield face a more fundamental issue: the livability of their environment. The city is dealing with a growing quality of life crisis, driven by aging and inadequate housing stock, along with worsening air quality. As a center for energy and agriculture, Bakersfield has been deeply affected by California's transition toward clean energy, especially where economic replacement has not kept pace. Many families who once moved there for affordable housing now find themselves stuck, owning properties that are losing value while health costs rise due to dust and pollution. Bakersfield represents a version of inland California, where economic inequality is becoming more pronounced as the region undergoes difficult structural change. Similar economic pressure is also being felt in logistics hubs like Stockton, though for different reasons. Despite serving as a major distribution center for large e-commerce companies, residents face a deeply contradictory affordability crisis. Wages in warehouse jobs are not keeping up with rising rental costs, which are being driven higher by people leaving the Bay Area in search of cheaper housing. The city already carries a heavy history. It became the largest U.S. city to declare bankruptcy in 2012, and that shadow now seems to be returning. Stockton shows how strong industrial activity does not always translate into economic stability for the people who live there. Ironically, those seeking escape from high living costs in cities like Stockton often find themselves trapped in a different kind of crisis in desert communities like Palmdale. Many residents who purchased homes in recent years are now facing negative equity, where their property values have fallen below their remaining mortgage balances. At the same time, rising fuel costs are turning the long commute to Los Angeles, once the foundation of Palmdale's appeal, into an unsustainable financial burden. The city is gradually losing its position as an affordable alternative, as hidden living costs continue to rise. If Palmdale represents a financial breakdown, the small town of Hinckley stands as a clear example of a long-term environmental crisis that never truly ends. Even after gaining national attention through the Erin Brockovich case, groundwater contamination from chromium-6 continues to spread beyond previously expected boundaries as of 2026. The population has declined to the point where basic services like schools and post offices are becoming difficult to maintain. Hinckley is not just a town facing hardship, it is a place slowly being erased from the map due to decades of unresolved industrial pollution. The crises affecting these 15 cities suggest that California is standing at a critical crossroads in its economic and social future. The challenges are no longer just about market cycles or seasonal disasters, but about deeper systemic issues that demand major reforms in governance and environmental adaptation. From San Francisco to Hinckley, the reality shows that without significant change, many of these modern cities risk becoming symbols of a system that failed to adapt to new limits. The future of the West Coast now depends on whether these communities can rebuild trust and stability on increasingly fragile ground.